to have you on the show, Luke. TikTok star. You're also on Instagram, Cameo, and Thrills. So basically, you're like the social media swinger. You're like the swinger of social media. You swing from one to another to another.
I mean, some people can say that. I mean, you obviously have. Probably other people have probably said that behind my back.
Hey, that's something to be proud of, though. The fact you're on so many social media platforms.
Oh, to be honest, I was only an Instagram person before, like just putting pictures on there. And then obviously I went to TikTok, and then I got approached to do Thrills and Cameo, and I was like, oh, right, yeah, let's just go with it. And then suddenly it's like 4 different like medias, and I'm like, what's going on? I can't cope.
You got to tell me more about what Cameo is all about. This is the first time I've actually ever seen Cameo. So what is it all about?
Yeah, so with Cameo, it basically means you can get into it. It's like a contact base for yourself and like people that follow you. And they could request like messages like happy birthdays and greetings, and it's just about connecting with followers. That's all.
Have you done your fair share of happy birthday messages?
I have on Thrills, yeah, and I have on Cameo, to be fair. Yeah, it's weird how a mum character is come across quite well for people that want happy birthday messages for it. So yeah.
So tell me, what is the cheesiest thing you've ever had to do on Cameo in a birthday message? So for example, somebody they tell you what you'd like you to say. So what would be the cheesiest thing you've ever had to say to someone on their birthday?
I haven't. Do you know what? I've been quite lucky. I've not had the cheese. I've not had the cheese on toast yet.
Oh,
I've had.
Is it marmalade instead? Marmalade.
Yeah. I've had someone send me over a script before, and for me to do for Cameo. And I was like, and I just basically replied back saying, listen, like, it's only a minute long. I can't be doing a full each event Titanic script. Like, as much as I would love to, I can't do it. But yeah, probably that's the only cheesiest thing. I was like, I can't do this, unfortunately.
Brilliant. So Luke Hamnett, of course, TikTok star, 174,000 followers and almost 5 million likes. That is incredible. So did you ever imagine you get to that point?
No, not really. So last year I was doing what everyone does on TikTok, which is lip syncing as much as possible.
Everybody.
Yeah, start from a lip sync and then go from there. And I struggled with getting followers, but I was doing loads and loads of lip syncing. Not loads, like once every like 3 days and something, just to like take your mind off it with lockdown and stuff like that. And it came to a point where it was like December or January, and I turned to my best friend and I said, I am bored of this now. And my friend turned to me and said, why don't you just be yourself, talk to the camera and just see how you go from there? And I started literally doing my own stuff, and people were quite warming to what I was saying, and found it quite funny. And then I saw that a lot of TikTok people were doing like skits and comedy and like POV and POV and making these characters, and I just went, oh, do you know what, let's just go with it, let's see how we get on. And then I did one in February, and then everyone just seems to have really warmed to this character that I've made, which is nice.
Great. But before you actually made that character, were you looking at any other influences to get a bit of an idea of the route that you wanted to go down? Was there any influences on there that you thought, right, I'm going to take a look at their work so you can give me a bit of an idea of what I want to do?
No, not really. I didn't really look at anyone on TikTok. I kind of like, I do scroll and stuff, and I don't follow that many people. And I'm not saying I wouldn't want to. It's just because I didn't look in them for an influence. I did see some sketches and stuff, and I didn't see a lot of the mum ones, but I did see a girl that does teaching, like Monica. She called Monica Galdart. She does a lot of teacher ones. And then I've just seen a lot of funny influencers that I've looked at, and I thought, oh my god, they're so funny. But there's no one I really took inspiration. I thought, oh, I looked at you and I think I wanted to do it. It's just that I've always wanted to make people laugh, so it's always been me within me to wanting to do it, if that makes sense. So And I just went on a whim. I just went, oh, do you know what? F it. Like, let's just do it. Let's just go out there and let's just.
Let's get it
What
done.
have you got to lose? And at the end of the day, when you put a video out there, you are vulnerable because people are going to either be really warm to it or they're going to say this is a load of shit. And luckily, they quite enjoyed it. And I just wanted to make it as funny as possible and relatable. And that's what I wanted to do, is make relatable comedy.
You know,
so, yeah.
Something interesting you said about lip syncing. You said that the viewers didn't really connect to the lip syncing stuff you were doing.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that lip syncing wasn't connecting with the viewers as you might have hoped they might have?
It's just boring though, isn't it? And once you've seen one lip sync, you've seen them all. It's just, I would be bored. I'd see it, go, ha, it's made me laugh for a second, and I'd move on. Like, you won't remember it. You won't remember that face. Like, so if you're on TikTok and you see someone doing a lip sync, you wouldn't think, oh my God, that person is so funny. It's not them. Like, they're imitating someone. It's a lip sync. Yeah. So their name is never going to be stuck with you. It's just the fact that how they're imitating or what caption you put to that is quite funny. But that's why I kind of just went, I was on like 10,000 followers in like December, and at one point I was just like, oh, I'm gonna give up. Like, there's no point me doing it. And then that's when I spoke to my friend.
That's the best thing. You didn't give up.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about perseverance, isn't it? It's all about just thinking. Even when you get setbacks in life, you just got to think, I don't care. I don't care, Matthew. I don't care. I'm just going to carry on.
That's brilliant. So, before you made this character, in the process of making it, did you know that there was a big kind of comedy market on TikTok? And what made you try and separate your character and your style of comedy compared to the rest of the sort of comedy skits we see on TikTok today?
Yeah. So how I separated it is that I just didn't want to do it. So first of all, obviously it's a mum character, and I didn't want my mum to be offended. But I tried.
I gotta ask you later how she reacted to that character.
Yeah. And I wanted to make it relatable as possible. And I grew up watching Dinner Ladies, watching The Royal Family, watching real Northern comedy. And even when I was in like performances, I was like a comedy actor, and I've always had a passion to like make people laugh and write scripts and sketches and to perform. So when I did see mum characters on TikTok, I didn't see that many, to be fair. I only saw one or two. It was the standard stuff that you would normally see, like, oh, your tea is on the table, you come down like 10 minutes later and it's still not ready. It was that kind of stuff. And I enjoyed watching it because they are relatable, but I just thought, I need to add more to it. Like, I would love that, but I need to make it more funny. And how can I make it more funny? And that's when I just thought, separate yourself, take time, think of it, listen to jokes, like what would work and where and what. And that's how I did it. I just thought, sit down, I come up with an idea, and I just based loads and loads of jokes around it, like how that would be funny, and innuendos and like pauses and just stuff that I just think could be really relatable to people.
And do you think it was important to add more layers to the character? What were the kind of layers that you added in the development of that character?
Yes, definitely. I've developed the character quite a lot since when I first started it. I mean, I did start it in February, so it's not really that long ago, to be fair. So I started the character development in February, and the problem is I did it in lockdown, and I just thought, obviously I didn't get my hair cut or anything, and I would look like a little choppy mum bob like when me performing. I can relate
to you a lot on that, trust me.
Yeah. And my dad said to me, you're gonna have to get a wig. And I didn't want to put a wig on for the sake of me pretending to be a mum, because I wanted to be a mum based on my mannerisms and based on my eye contacts and the death stare that a mum does, and how she goes up with certain things that she's saying or certain things that she wants, like, oh, your tea's on the table, like going up with certain things. And that's what I really focused on my development, because I did have the first one was Mums on Facebook, and it went really well, and I thought, oh, this has gone well, and how can I develop it more? And that's when I introduced the glasses. Like, the glasses came into it. She doesn't look through the glasses, she only looks over the top of the glasses. just general stuff that mum would do. And then in time, it's just gone a lot. The character development's gone a little bit bigger, but I do think that now that I've got the character that I wanted, like it's actually come over in time, which is good.
And do you think it's good to keep, you know, adding new fundamentals to the character, changing it up sometimes, you know?
Oh my god, yeah,
you know,
100%.
that's something I've always when I was watching his skits, I was loving them, and I thought I'd love to see what he does next with that character, because there's so many directions you can go with it.
100%. So when I first started, obviously it was just me and Matthew, obviously the son, and I thought to myself, how can I make this character more funny, and what can I do and put this character in a situation to make it even more bigger and better than it is. And that's when I started introducing Matthew's got a girlfriend and her having a best mate, and I just think with situations with stuff, when you can when you really I'm such a people watcher as well, so I sit back and I can go home for a weekend and then suddenly I've got 3 sketches because I just watch how my mum does stuff and how she does it. One of the sketches was so funny. I was getting a shower at my mum's, like I think it was a couple of months ago, and she tried to walk in whilst I was in the shower. And she goes, "It's only me. I'm just coming to get something for your dad or something." I was like, "I'm in the shower." And then she literally closed the door and I just went, oh my God, I can use that. Because I wonder if people have been in the same situation when a mum would just walk in when you're in the shower. And it's just like, I've seen it all before. Doesn't bother me. And yeah.
Oh, forget mother. Try grandmother. Not a nice experience.
I'm grandmother to the same.
Well, you know, one thing that, you know, I've really took to what you just said is taking mannerisms, watching how people's mannerisms work. Would one example be as well, you know, if you're out on the street and you're watching a mother and their child, do you analyze that a lot? Because that could give you some ideas as well of what to do with Matthew and the mother skits.
Definitely. And it's not I don't just base it on my mum, and a lot of people think it is based on my mum. It isn't. It's just because I have a mum and it fits in that category.
Yeah.
It's the fact that it's not just your mum. You could recognize an auntie, in that you can recognize your nan, you can recognize a cousin that's like that, like, oh my God, that is my cousin. She is like that with her kids or something. And that's what I did. I didn't want to just make it so it is a mum character, but a lot of the stuff that she does do is some stuff that an older generation did or a younger generation does. And that's why I wanted to make it so relatable on so many different levels. So you are right. Yeah, I do see people in the street and I watch them and I think, oh, that'd be amazing. But to be fair, I've not left my house, so I haven't been doing that. Like, I've just been basing this on my head. Like, I've not even like looked and stopped and watched anyone in the street.
You could buy a telescope, look out the window and say, oh, okay, yeah. Oh,
I will.
You drop the shopping. That's not good.
I mean, I would definitely be put on a list if I was on a telescope looking at someone out on the street. I would definitely be arrested for that.
Well, let's just hope that never happens. You know, before you released that very first skit of the Matthew and the mother skits, what was going through your head, Luke? What was your expectations of how did you have any idea or predicted how you expected the audience to react to the skits?
No, never. And that's the power of like a video or something that can just take off. Like I was getting to a point where I was just getting really sick of it, and I just thinking, what more can I do? Like, and I just wanted to make people smile and laugh. And honestly, a hand like on my heart saying this, when I posted that mum skit, like I was ready to just say, right, I've had enough of TikTok now. It's blasted a year. It's done what I needed to. And that was it. And honestly, I posted the first video and then I went out for a walk with my partner and I came back and then suddenly in the space of like about an hour, it was on like 100,000 views. And I went, what? Like, how is that even possible? And I didn't even pick up on the catch line, like, I don't care, Matthew, until like 3 videos in when someone was like, I really like this, I don't care, Matthew, and I don't care. And I was just like, oh my God, I didn't even realise I was doing it.
So with the character, did you have an intended target audience that you wanted that character to appeal to? Or was it happy to say, right, whoever saw it, just enjoy and have a laugh with it?
I was open to anyone taking anything from it, and just if it can make them happy in any sort of way, anyone at all, and make them laugh, I'm more than happy to be any sort of target audience. There is a lot of older generation that obviously do warm to it because they recognise themselves or they recognise their mums.
As a
And there's a,
mother, yeah,
yeah, and
Older
there's a lot of people in the younger generation that follow me as well. Like when I went out the other week, like someone stopped me and said, I watched your videos and I love it. And it was only quite young. It was like my age, like in the mid-20s. And I just went, oh my God, that's amazing. I didn't realise someone like yourself would watch anything like that. And I just, the thing is with the Matthews mom, I just try to make it as funny as possible. So people just laugh. And that's all I wanted to do, was just make people laugh.
enjoy on people's faces is the main thing.
And and no expectations. Don't expect anything in life, because nothing is ever given it to you on a plate. And especially for people that are like listening and wanting to do TikTok, like just, and if you're scared about taking a risk, just take the risk, because it could pay off, and just don't give up. That's the main thing I would say.
I cannot agree with you more. And Luke, you got to tell me, what was your mum's reaction to the Matthew Mum skits? You got to tell me what her reaction is. Also, how supportive have your family been and your partner with your TikTok success?
So my mum, when I first, well, to be fair, like I started the Matthew Mum TikToks in February. So obviously we were in the second wave at that point, and everything was like short. I didn't see my family since Christmas. So I was doing these Matthew's Mum TikToks, not knowing like how people would react to it. And then I started sharing them on social media platform of Facebook, because that's where my mum and dad could see it, because obviously they're not really TikTok friendly, like they don't really understand it. So I started sharing it on there. And then I said to my mum and dad, I was like, you need to start like going on TikTok. So they've now downloaded TikTok, and I've started on Facebook, but just because I only put it on for them to see it. But my mum's reaction when she first saw it was, oh my God, that's something that I do. Like, that's quite similar to something that I do. And I was just like, yeah. And I was like, what do you think? Do you think they're funny? She goes, yeah, they are funny. She goes, is this character based on me? I was like, I was like, loosely based on you. I was like, it's other people as well, to be fair. But my whole family have been so supportive with every single thing that has happened with TikTok. And it's been such an underestimated platform that no one understands like how big TikTok has been because of lockdown, and people have gone to it to see videos to make them laugh. And I'm just, even if it only lasts till like, say this mum situation that I've got going on, it only lasts till June, I'm just happy for like a small period of time that I've made people laugh. And that's fine for me. Like, I'm more than happy for that to happen. But the opportunities and stuff that have come from TikTok, it's been unreal.
And the messages have been in a minute, which I can't wait to find out. I can't wait to find out exactly what opportunities you've been given. But you know, for people who are anti-TikTok, Luke, as a TikToker, what can we do to change people's perceptions of TikTok? Who just think it's a bad app and a bad influence on, you know, the younger generation who seem to be really hooked on it?
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't just listen to word of mouth. I wouldn't listen to reputation. I mean, if you were to tell someone about TikTok this time last year, you would say that it's just a lip syncing app where people would do dances. And that's what my interpretation was. Like, my first ever my first ever TikTok was a dancing one. And then the more I watched it and the more I got to grips with the more I see it's not just that, it's other things as well. And there is some real comedians and some real videos on there that you just find so funny. And I wouldn't have any preconceived ideas of what the app is going to be, because you can have the same ideas about, like, say, Instagram when it first came out. You're just showing pictures on there like vain, and it's this, it's that. like what do you get out of it just posting selfies? And it's so much more than that. And that if it was someone who hasn't got TikTok, I would encourage them to download it. I mean, it's not for everyone, but I would encourage them to download it because there's always something there for someone. And don't forget, the For You page is for you. So the videos that you like, then videos will start appearing. So yeah,
it's great that the diversity of it as well is, just reacting to what you just said, which is brilliant. The fact that there is something for everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
That is one of the vital things for TikTok. But of course, considering your county, North Staffordshire, you are a sensation in those areas. How have people reacted to you in your area and seeing your skits?
I mean, I wouldn't say sensation. I mean,
no. You are a TikTok sensation, Luke.
I mean, no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. The reaction's been great. I'm not gonna lie. You do get trolls, but you can't really take something personal from someone that you're not personal with.
Yeah.
So try not to let it bother you. I mean, there is some idiots that you just think, oh my god, fucking get a life. Like, what are you?
Wipe them under the carpet.
Yeah, what is that about? But the reaction's been brilliant. Like, and to be honest, I haven't actually been home to Stoke that often. But the people that I have seen, or the people that I've seen, I didn't even expect any sort of people coming up to me on the street and speaking to me about it, or even asking for a photo. But when it happened, I just went, oh my god, this is weird. This is so strange. But it's one of them situations where the more you obsess over something like that, the more you lose your passion and what you wanted to do. And that stuff like that is fantastic, and it's great to connect with people. But I would never focus what I'm doing is to be. I want people to come up to me in the street and speak to me. It's great that people speak to me, but I wouldn't focus on the fame. It's more of the fact that it's the comedy for me and making people laugh. And then people come up to me and say, you really made me laugh with that. And that is buzzing. I don't wake up thinking, I wonder who's going to stop me today. It's not about that for me. Like, I could take or leave that. It does not bother me. I'm more than happy for someone to send me a message and just say, just to let you know, like, what's happened, like with this TikTok, it's so much like my mom. Just want to say thank you. Like, that means more to me than any of that. But yeah, it is good. It's a good reception, and the thing is, it's just light-hearted humour, isn't it? There's nothing that's like cancelled culture. There's nothing like that. It's just light-hearted northern humour. That's it, really.
I'll beat a bit of that. I mean, I'm based in Cumbria, and being from the south, I've had to completely get used to that northern sarcasm as well. And
it's comedy. A different layer of sarcasm, isn't
it? Different. So, Luke, hit me with the opportunities that you've been getting off TikTok.
Obviously I got an agency, which was amazing. That was fantastic. Obviously got an agency, getting represented by someone now, which is great. I've had adverts with Amazon Prime, which was fantastic. The Cameo and Thrills opportunity to do happy birthday messages to fans and stuff. That's incredible.
Well, my birthday's coming up, so I'll make sure you have to send me a Cameo message. See your boy, Cal Mac.
And then just having like other opportunities where you would just never expect it, like people that you would say, for example, like celebrities and stuff, like reaching out that you wouldn't normally reach out, and you just think, oh my god, like that's amazing, like how that has even gone to that person. And I think I really underestimated TikTok, to be fair, of how big of a platform it actually is. And I'm just really thankful for what's happening, and I'm really thankful for the following. They're really supportive, and I love all of them. And it's hard to try and message every single one, and I try not to look at my messages, because you're going to get some dickhead one time that just goes, oh, this was funny one day ago or something. Do you know what I mean? And I try not to look at them. To be fair, my dad makes me laugh. My dad sits through all the comments and looks at all of them, and he's just like, look, all these comments are amazing. Like, you haven't had any like negativity. And he's like my bodyguard. He's like, I've looked at all these and that's all good. And I'm like, thanks, Dad.
I can imagine one bad comment Right, I'm out of here. I'm going to confront these guys.
Oh yeah, don't mess with Dave Hamnett because he will be after you. I'm joking.
Hashtag, I got to throw a hashtag out here. Hashtag, don't mess with Dave. That is the hashtag.
Don't mess with Dave.
So,
That is the hashtag.
And Luke, finally, what have you got coming up next? What is next for you, Luke?
What next for me is that for the development of Matthew's mom is just to continue to not lose focus of sight of what I'm doing, which is, and just to keep grounded, I think, is by really not leading astray with the comedy, keeping it real, still putting a lot of effort into the writing side of it as much as the development side, because that's important as well. And I know people do quite good at improvising, and I think with a mum, it's quite difficult for me to improvise as Matthew's mum because I play Matthew and his mum, so I have to like pause to pretend to Matthew to react, and then I have to record over it, so it's hard to me to improvise it, and not lose sight and just keep grounded really. And I think there's so much stuff that you can do with a mum, so much stuff, and the ideas haven't gone yet, and it's just to keep that really, and keep that as my forefront, is just to keep making people laugh, Luke, and just don't lose sight of what you're doing.
I love that, and I hope you get all that support, and I hope it keeps rising, because you got mine. You got my support for sure.
Oh, thank you.